And we are back with an Epic Universe construction update. Today we are going to be accompanied with some amazing pictures by BioReconstruct on Twitter. If you guys have not checked out their Twitter, go ahead and do so. I've said it in the past, they do some amazing photography all around Central Florida, which includes theme parks and everything around them as well. So trust me, check them out. It's going to be a hoot, a holler, and a great time. Now, before getting into that fantastic photography by BioReconstruct, I do want to say that less than a week ago, I want to say it was like Saturday or Sunday, Lexi and I actually drove past the Epic Universe construction site just to see what it's looking like at the moment. And might I say that the pictures are doing it justice. This park looks beautiful, it's massive, and it's just full-on gorgeous. And I personally would like to know, do you guys want to see me film a video from what we can see street perspective wise of Epic Universe? Let me know down below, because I've been debating on making a video like this because I wasn't sure if you guys would like to see it. Let me know down below and I will go out there and I'll get it for you. But for right now, let's get right into these pictures because, man, this is really getting exciting. No better way to start this than with an overall view of the entire park. And now this is my favorite thing to do when it comes to Epic Universe updates, at least, because you can see exactly the magnitude of this park. You can see how massive it is and just how much is in here and how much has changed from when we started updating to what it is now, because you can start seeing color, you can start seeing more track. You see so much. If you go back and watch the first Epic Universe update that I did, and you look right now, you will see millions of changes. And trust me, it's just going to get better as the year comes, because this park opens in 2 years, guys. 2 years. And with that being said, let's dive directly into one of these lands. And I think today I'm going to start with the classic Monster Land, or the Dark Universe as it's being titled by many people right now. And of course, like always, thanks to BioReconstruct, we have a numbered picture to show us where everything is on the image. Starting off with image number 1, this is the retaining walls that is likely for a hillside. Quick service inside that exact hillside. Now we move to number 2, which is a recently added building frame, which people are saying on the comments for the picture Bio put up that it could be a concession stand of sorts. Maybe, but I think it's way too early to tell. Number 3 is the spinning shuttle roller coaster, which looks like it's completely finished constructing, which is pretty awesome to see. Then we move to number 4, which is the featured attraction, which is obviously the main attraction for this whole thing, which is that Kuka Arm coaster that is coming. 5, we have the entrance village, and then finally at number 6, we have that entrance portal, which I'm going to give you a way closer look of it right now because this looks so freaking awesome. And now that we have a closer look at the entrance portal, you can see that there's a whole lot of detail in here behind a lot of this scaffolding, and I can't wait to see what this is going to look like when you start to get some color added to it. But so far, this looks glorious, and it's everything that I've wanted to see. Do you guys remember when this was just literally like a tunnel, and now it has all this extra stuff on it? It is fantastic. Good job, construction team. You guys are doing great so far. Well, let's keep going into the land and see what else we can see right now. Like right here, we are looking straight at the facade for the main attraction for this Dark Universe land. And if you look right next to it, you're going to see that small concession stand that we spoke of earlier. Of course, we don't know if it's a concession stand or not, but it's what it looks like. Now we will be moving from the Dark Universe and going to the Wizarding World that will be located within Epic Universe. And as soon as you walk through the portal to go into the Wizarding World, you're going to be greeted with a giant copy of the Port St. Denis, which is located over in Paris, meaning that this Wizarding World will be taking place in Paris. Now we're going to take an aerial view of the Wizarding World section of Epic Universe, and you can see the city streets. You can see some show buildings, and you can actually see the largest show building in all of Epic Universe right here, and it's actually that massive building right there. You can actually start to see some of the Paris city street facades start to come together within this Wizarding World, as well as if you start to look at the roof line of these buildings, you can start seeing that houseman style, which is commonly used in the Paris buildings over in obviously Paris. But so far, this land is starting to come together, and we're going to go from this land over to the central hub because there's a whole lot going on in there right now because, well, things are starting to get vertical there. And of course, we have our 3 water features that will be in the central corridor of the park itself. Right now, we're going to talk about one of those 3, and it is this right here that is starting to go vertical. And it seems as if its domed roof is starting to come together, and it's going to look so nice when it's done. So can't wait to see what that's going to look like. We'll move from this to the other one, which is that central water basin, that giant fountain that's going to be in the back that I showed you guys once, that it was a super tiny person on a giant fountain. And then finally, out of the 3, we have a restaurant that will be completely encircled by water, which is the 3rd and final of the 3 different water features that will be in the central corridor of the park. And now this isn't everything that's in the central hub, because you guys know and I know that there is a massive roller coaster, not 1 but 2, because they duel. The dueling racing coaster is what we're going to talk about right now. If you look closely, you can see that the 2 tracks are a distinct different color. One a yellowish gold and the other one more of like a bright yellow. And I like them a lot, honestly. I can't wait to see what this looks like with the ride vehicle on the track. Is it going to be a black ride vehicle? Is it going to be a yellow ride vehicle? Who knows? But they have added some more track to this attraction as well since the last time we talked about it. And right now there's something that's going overhead of the ride station. So it looks pretty awesome, and I can't wait for this to be completed. Now we will go from one roller coaster to another. We are going into the How to Train Your Dragon Land, or the Land of Berk, whatever you want to call it. And this is where we've seen a lot of things go down since the last time we've done this. Now we're going to start here with a look at the Great Hall, which is going to be, of course, the eating area for this land here. And also, if you look right behind the Great Hall, you can actually see some of the roller coaster track, of which we're going to talk about now, which is obviously the How to Train Your Dragon roller coaster that is also coming to this land, because this is where we really see a lot of that detail that has been added to this section of the park. And it is mind-blowing what has happened over here in the time from the last time we did this to now. And who knows where I would be without Bio Reconstructing their amazing numbered photographs. So starting here with number 1, we have the entrance portal for the land, and you can see there is a pole there. That means they're going to start theming this portal very soon, very similar to how they have the themed portal over in front of the Wizarding World that we just saw not too long ago. Now going from number 1 to number 2, you can see that there's some scaffolding and scrims near that theming area for the roller coaster. Right there around that little loop-de-loop. Right there. Now we're going to move to number 3, and this is some concrete form for a bridge that goes over the roller coaster. Nice, so it might be a little like walkway within the land, which is kind of cool. I always love when you can like walk over a roller coaster. It's one thing I've always loved about Busch Gardens. Whenever I go to do Kumba, you can just go walk through that bridge and the coaster goes over and around you, and it just feels like such an immersive thing to see. And I can just imagine this being a photo spot for this land when it opens. And you can't have a picture spot without having something to take a picture of that's not just the roller coaster. And of course, this coaster goes over an entire body of water, and in that water there's going to be some things that you can see. For example, you can see 3 different boats here in the water, along with 2 statues, one of which is being painted right now as we speak, and it looks so nice. The colors really pop. It makes it very vibrant. The statue is blue, gold, and it looks like silver, and honestly, it's going to look fantastic when it's done. It looks really nice popping out in just an image. I can imagine what this looks like in person. And along with those statues, those boats have me very curious. I want to know if it's going to get bigger than that, or if it just looks small. I'm not 100% sure, but it's going to be really cool to see all those Viking ships in that water as you're on the roller coaster, or as you're walking into the land itself. And the final thing that we have here in the How to Train Your Dragon Land is the theater attraction that is over here. And it's funny, Bio pointed this out because they did a street level view of Epic Universe as well, and you can see from the hotel that it looks like this building for the theater attraction is a castle, or well, shaped like a castle wall. So it has those little like ridges in it, just like a castle, and I think that's pretty cool to see. So nice. Well, now we're gonna go from How to Train Your Dragon to Super Nintendo World. Let's go. Get it? Because Mari, I'm gonna stop now. And we're going to start the easiest way possible with the entrance portal. And the reason we're starting with the entrance portal is because we see that some of the theming elements have started to go up. And if you look really closely, this entrance portal has some kind of elevation to it. And according to everyone on Twitter, mostly Alicia Stella, there's an escalator that could be going here. Meaning that we'll probably have an escalator that takes us into Super Nintendo World, which is kind of cool. We're going to be going from one level to the next, kind of completely immersifying us in this land. And going into it here, you can actually see the escalator entrance right here, numbered 1, and that is the entrance portal to the land. And then if we look over at number 2 here, that's going to be the entrance to Mario Kart, the attraction, which is going to be Bowser's Castle. So that's kind of cool to see, like, just seeing more or less how this is starting to actually take shape, and it's not just construction. Now we know what this is going to look like, and it blows my mind every time I look at this. And now we will go from Mario to Donkey Kong, because we have to talk about this coaster, because to me this is still one of the coolest things in this theme park. Now, the outdoor section of the Donkey Kong roller coaster has some concrete walls that are being put into place, and then if you look right here where that arrow's at, you can actually see the gaps of where the Mach 2 rail track is supposed to be, and the track that's the false track is actually yellow. So it's cool to see it. I mean, I can't wait to go on this. It's going to be such a cool, unique experience, and it's going to be cool to do. I'm excited. What can I say? And it's crazy to imagine that this lift hill right here is going to have the facade for the temple right behind it. It's going to look so beautiful. I can't wait to see what this looks like, and with the rate that everything's been going, I can imagine we can see this by maybe June, July? I don't know. I'm excited to see what this is all going to look like when it's completed. And well, now that we have all of the attractions and different lands out of the way, I think it's time for us to talk about the hotels, of which right now we can visibly see 2 of them, with a third one just being ground or dirt for the moment. But we're going to start with that one in-park hotel because it looks massive. If you look at the base for this hotel, you can tell it is going to be beautiful to see, and it will be a sight to behold. And honestly, it just will tie together the entire park. It's giving me those international theme park vibes when you really think about it. And I can't wait to maybe stay here one day. I don't know, it might be way too expensive for me. But if I have the opportunity, I would love to stay here. Right now, we're going to bounce away from the in-park hotel and go to the 2 hotels that are off-site, which are a little bit south of Epic Universe. Now, I drove past this the other day with Lexi, which is what I was telling you guys, that I drove past the resort. And that hotel looks big. It looks more or less about the same size as like one of the wings of Cabana Bay. So I'm thinking that these 2 hotels will be in comparison to Cabana Bay or like a dockside kind of thing. But honestly, if the other hotel that's being built on the dirt side is about the same size, it's going to be very accommodating. And honestly, I like that they're putting these hotels here and they're not just making you stay at the hotels that are already at Universal and making you take a bus all the way out there. I want to say that it's really convenient, and hopefully these open when the hotel is ready to go for the park opening. Hopefully this is all ready by 2025, which it seems like it all will be. But as for right now, that's all we got. Just these hotels, dirt, and a whole lot of hopes and dreams. And I really hope you guys liked this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Comment down below what you're most excited for Epic Universe and what you want to see next from us. Subscribe if you guys already haven't done so. And stay excellent, my dudes.